I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-Minute Convos, where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Maxwell Finn. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Oh, I'm doing great tonight. Just getting the day started after all these calls today.
Wow, what part of the world are you in right now?
I'm in Orlando, Florida, so Disney capital of the world.
Sweet. I spoke to someone in Florida today. He says, I said, where are you from? He said, well, I'm in Florida. That's in the United States. And then he said, oh yeah, I think everyone knows that because Disney World is here.
I think they do. Everybody knows Disney. So they know New York, Times Square, and Disney. That's pretty much it in the US.
Makes sense. So tell me, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time?
I'd imagine that it's probably my digital marketing, specifically paid media skills. So Facebook advertising is the thing that I've kind of become known for the last few years.
Yeah, sounds like you are having fun. Seems as though the fun is going on even now, right?
Yeah, I'm a big believer, if you love what you do, you're never working. So you just got to be able to hopefully find that thing. And then hopefully that thing is something you can also make money doing. Unfortunately, some people, their passion isn't easily monetizable.
Yeah. So if it didn't have Facebook ads, right, what do you think you would have been doing that would have connected to your passion?
That's a great question. I'm a unique case because my grandfather was an entrepreneur, my father was an entrepreneur, and I'm an entrepreneur. So it's all I've really known since day one is this world of starting your own business and running your own company. And so I kind of always have been doing this and been passionate about it. I would say, my biggest passion is really helping people, especially on the entrepreneurial side. So helping people realize that entrepreneurship is something that anybody can do. And, a lot of people don't realize that. They think I got to go do a 9-to-5 job and that's the only path.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that's one of my big passions.
Yeah, so it's definitely that entrepreneurial push, that pull, if you would, that get up and do it on your own. Yeah. You answered 2 questions right there in terms of your grandparents, your parents being that
I predicted
push.
it. I knew what you were going to ask.
Oh, there we go. So you've been in this, and any entrepreneur can definitely attest to the challenges that they have faced. Even today, I was just thinking about, hey, you have $1 million. There's still money challenges. It's amazing. And I was wondering if it's a mindset or if the entire system is just built that way, right? But saying all of that to say, why will you continue in spite of the challenges?
It can't be about money. It really can't. I think what you realize is once you make the money, you still are hungry and you're still not satisfied. So you see so many of these really rich people who are depressed or, get addicted to drugs or whatever it is. And you're like, how could that happen? They have the best life. They're rich. They have all the money. They can do whatever they want. The reality is that it doesn't, the money side of it does not plug all the holes and fill you. Finding what you're passionate about, doing what you love, having relationships, friends and family, and enjoying your life. Like there's so many aspects there that need to be in place that no amount of money can fix or address. And so I think that's the driving force for a lot of high profile entrepreneurs that continue to push. It's not that I can make more money. It's what can I do with this money? How can this help the other parts of my life? How can I give back more? How can this kind of vision and passion I have for bringing entrepreneurial education to other people, like what can the money and the success do on that side to help me achieve that goal? And that's really what keeps people going, at least at a high level.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, it's like maximizing wellness, right? Or you could just call it Maxwell, right?
You could just use my name.
Yeah, there we go. Well, Max, please do tell people where, Facebook ads is definitely a big thing. I believe the connectivity is going to grow for those who have built trust in the arena. Please do tell people where they can connect with you.
Sure. So you can follow me on Facebook. You can go to maxwellfinn.com. I have a public group on Facebook called Facebook Ad IQ that's open to anybody and has a few thousand members in there. I go live there and teach Facebook ad strategies. I also have a Facebook ad course called AdIQ Academy. People can learn more about that at adiqcourse.com. And that's been a really big passion of mine the last few months, is the educational space, the course space, and being able to impact a lot more people without personally doing it, by kind of digitizing my knowledge and distributing it that way.
Makes sense. Well, my friend, tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
Yeah, the problem is when you're an entrepreneur, that's kind of all you do, right? And you look back at it like that, you just work. I would say over the last 3 years specifically, I've gotten to know my now fiance and build a really incredible relationship with her, and we're planning our wedding now. And so that's been an incredible journey, finding that right person who's able to deal with all of my stuff, because dating an entrepreneur and then eventually marrying one is not an easy task. And unfortunately, I don't think anybody knows what they're getting into until they're too deep into it. So she deals with a lot of stuff.
Yeah. How does that make you feel to have companionship?
I mean, that's everything. I think it's really, really difficult to truly be an entrepreneur and live it for years, because you fail a lot and there's a lot of lows without that. Doing that on your own without any support system, whether it's through friends or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend, it's pretty much impossible.
Yeah. Interesting. You just took the entire conversation on another level, right? Like you just switched it, like flipped it. And that's intriguing. So why would you suggest to someone that's listening that they even consider that aspect, the relational aspect, to combine in their life?
You need to have it for that work-life balance, because if you don't, so two things. One is you need to have a support system in place, because there's going to be so many times where you're dealing with stuff that you never thought you would experience, like, whether it's lawsuits or disputes or financial, whatever it is, as an entrepreneur, you're going to encounter all of those things, and not having somebody to talk to about that and be totally vulnerable and open and transparent, it's really, really difficult mentally to get through it. And I think the other part is just having a why, right? So at some point, making money for yourself, you can only buy so many things for yourself, right? At some point, it just gets ridiculous. But having that other person that you can build a family with and have a life with, like, that's a real why. That's so much more effective at driving you and pushing you and motivating you and keeping you going than making an extra, $10,000 this month, an extra $1 million this year. At some point, that stops being as powerful a motivating factor as the personal side of it.
Amazing audience, you're hearing it live here from Maxwell Finn. Just in case you're going across to that website, Maxwell Finn, it's FINN. Of course, we'll have that in the show notes. So many other things. Facebook ads expert, Maxwell Finn. Maxwell, let's switch gears for a moment. Now, let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Maxwell, what is your earliest childhood memory?
I like the time machine. That sounds nice. I think my earliest memory is probably visiting my I'm 3 years older than my sister, visiting her in the hospital, and like all I was concerned about is I got this really cool, the van from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that was really big at the time, and just playing with that, and that was my main concern. But like I vividly remember that, getting that in the hospital room, meeting her for the first time.
Wow. So you got the van while being in the hospital?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think my parents wanted to make sure that like I got a gift, right? So it didn't. Yeah. I think any good parent wants to do that. It's like a new kid's coming in the world. They're going to take half of everything you get. Here's a present, and they said it was from her, so they framed it really well. That she gave me the gift. It was her idea.
Wow. So how old do you think you were? Like 3 on the button, or just after 3?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably was just a little older than 3.
Okay. So why do you think this memory in particular is so clear?
I think I remember in high school taking AP psychology, and you kind of learn that 3 years old is the age where you really start to build, actually remember things. So most people, that's kind of the age where they can have their first memory. And I think for me, just over time, that was like one of the stories. We had a home video we used to watch from that. And so you kind of just cling to that as your earliest memory, because you're like, okay, I was 3. That's when I should be my first memory. You see some home movies about it. And then you kind of build on top of that over time. So that's probably a combination of all of those factors.
Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
I would love to.
I love that. I love the idea of companionship and how it, in this picture that you created, showed increase. In that, here's someone coming into your life and you're actually getting more, which is the at the point in time, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles van, right? But to see that just translate in the conversation where you have your fiance now, but it's like you have entrepreneurship and now you're getting that companionship as well. It's just amazing how they both connect. It's always increase, isn't it, to the relationship side of things?
Yeah, I mean that's a great interpretation. I really like that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I like that angle.
It's amazing. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
12 was a big year for Smash Mouth. That was the that all-star song, Smash Mouth. Hey, now you're an all-star. I think we played that on the radio like every day, multiple times a day. And now they're nobody. I think they were the biggest band in the world for a year and had like 10 hit songs, and then they just disappeared.
Yeah, it's amazing how it connects, right? It's like, it's the exact thing, right? It's like, hey, now you are an all-star, right?
Yep, it is.
But I love the fact that you're focusing on the relationship side and understand the value of that compared to, hey, just making it big, and it's just fanfare, isn't it?
Exactly. I think everybody at some point learns that lesson, that's the most important thing. It's just some people learn that much earlier in life and some people don't learn it till the very end of their lives.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you see a lot of people that might be incredibly wealthy but never got married, never had a family, and they live this incredible lifestyle because it was just them, and then they're 85 years old, unable to move in a bed, and they have nobody visiting. It's just, I think everybody will hit them at some point.
Yeah, totally agree. Well, Max, we've definitely reached our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Lightning round.
Boom, Maxwell, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes.
Are you married? Well, no, you're engaged.
Engaged,
right?
almost.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
At some level.
Do you have an inner?
That's a whole other conversation.
do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yeah.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? More than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Probably more total screen time.
After 1,001 conversations in 3 months, Max, I created a workbook called Yours. It stands for Your Own Unique Real Self. The idea is you answer questions that connect you to your own unique real statement, aka your mission. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Maxwell Finn, what would you say that is?
It wouldn't be very original. I just think never give up. That's the only thing I could think of that just pops in my mind.
But that is definitely a very big thing you just thought of, my friend. So well done. Maxwell, this has been a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
No, just that this is a really fun structure, and I enjoyed having a very different and engaging conversation with you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's amazing what could happen in 12 minutes, right? Maxwell Finn.
It is. I love it.
Maxwell Finn, hey, thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.